Hey guys, it's Nae, and I'm here to show you a makeup look that is perfect for both high school and college students. So if you're interested in seeing this natural glam look using all drugstore products, then keep watching. So I'm going to start by just clipping my hair back, and this is some new hair that I tried that I am loving. If you want to see my up and coming review on this hair, then make sure you subscribe to be notified. To start, I'm going to be using this NYX primer spray that is great for waking your face up, and then I'm going to follow up with the NYX pore filler to use as my primer, and this is great for creating a smooth layer for my makeup and keeping it in place all day. Then I'm going to brush my brows into place, and to fill my brows I'll be using this e.l.f. Brow Duo, and I like this especially for beginners or back to school looks, natural looks, because it's a very light shade, or at least a light coat. It's not very heavy unless you pack it on heavy like I like to do, but it lets you build it how you want it to look. And then I'm going to brush my brows into place. And to conceal my brows, I'll be using Fawn by LA Girl. And this shade is pretty close to my skin color, so it doesn't leave harsh lines around my brows. And I'm just going to use this to really clear up any messiness that I had going on with the brow gel and to form the perfect shape for me. And then whatever I have left over, I usually like to just dab that on any discoloration or any maybe acne scars that I may have on my skin to give me a more even base so that I don't have to use as much foundation. Now this step is optional, but I do like to conceal my eyelids as well, just because they're a little darker than the rest of my face, and this will give me an even more even skin tone for my natural look. Next, I'll be going into this NYX contour palette, and I'll be taking the matte brown shade to go into the crease of my eyelids, and this will create depth. And then I'm going to use this matte light shade, and I know it looks like white on the screen, but I think this could work for any skin tone honestly, and this will just brighten up your lids. And then I'm going to go back into my creases and blend in a little more brown. And for my eyelid, I'll be using the highlight color in the palette, and I'll highlight my under eye brow bones. Next, for my foundation, I use the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. And I'm just going to dab very thin layers of dots over my face and then blend it out with my beauty blender. Once that is all blended out, I'm going to go in with my concealer, and you can use any concealer that you'd like. I'm using the L'Oreal Visible Lift, and then you want to blend that out just enough so that you don't have any harsh lines, but not too much that you don't have a highlight any longer. And if you feel like the lines are a little harsh, you can always use the end of your beauty blender that has foundation to blend it out. Next, I'm going to be using LA Girl's Espresso to contour the perimeter of my face. And I like to use a brush most of the time to contour, and then I'll blend out any harsh lines with my beauty blender. And you can choose how dark or how light you want your contour to be. For me, since I do use a really light concealer to highlight, I like to use a darker contour to bring it all together. Next, you want to set your face with a translucent powder. I'm using Maybelline's Master Fix, and I know this is super bright and many brown skin people are afraid, but for an affordable drugstore brand, this has no flashback and it is very finely grained. I bake for about 2 minutes, and then I use L'Oreal's True Match in Warm to dust away the setting powder and also to set the areas that I did not use the translucent powder on. Then I'm going to just use that same brown matte shade from the NYX contour palette to go over the areas that I contoured with cream. And for the blush, I'll be using the blush shade that is also in that NYX contour palette. And it's a very neutral shade. It reminds me a lot of my favorite by MAC, which is Sun Power. Finally, I'm going to set my face using the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray and add my mascara. And I just started setting my face prior to highlighting because I find that it lets your highlight stick more, show more. I don't know, it just seems so much brighter to me when I set first and then add my highlight on top of the setting spray. And as you see here, I'm just lining my eyes. And I like my liner kind of dark when I'm not wearing lashes, so that's why you see me adding more liner. So first I used a crayon liner, and now I'm using a liquid liner, and this is by e.l.f. And I'm adding more mascara just to make my eyelashes really pop. Now for my highlight, I'm using ColourPop's Amethyst Liquid Highlighter, and this is a very iridescent purple color that I love. So I'm just going to put that onto the high points of my cheeks, my cupid's bow, the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and my chin. And I'm going to blend that out the same way I would do any other product. And then I am going to add my bronzer on top of that just to bronze everything out. And the bronzer shade I'm using is also from the NYX Contour Palette. And I'm going to set my face again. And now it's time to move to lips. And I'm just lining my lips with the Espresso Lip Pencil by NYX. And then I'm going to go on top of that with the Simply Nude Lip Crayon by NYX in the color Soft Sable. And I'm going to blend that out with my finger. I'm going to blend it into the liner. And lastly, you can add any lip color that you have on top. I'm going to just add a clear lip gloss. And this look is pretty much finished if you don't want to glam it up a little more. You know, if you're in high school or maybe you just don't feel like putting in the extra work, then you could definitely go out like this and be totally fine. But if you want to add a little glam, then stay tuned. So now I'm going to use NaeandNea by ColourPop and just dab it onto my eyelid with my fingers. And this is a very bronzy brown glitter shade. And then I'm going to also go into that NYX Contour Palette, and I'm going to use that highlight color in my tear duct and also add a little more to my brow bone to brighten that up a bit. Add some lashes, and there you go. You have an even more glam look than before, but still very natural, cute, and appropriate for both high school and college. I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!